Hey, it's week 3. I'm Dan,
Forrest?
and that's as much introduction as you're going to get this week. I hope you checked out week 1 and week 2. We talked about why credit is important, and on week 2 we talked about how to interpret your credit score. So we are at week 3. Hope you're still with us. If you're new to the channel, welcome here. It's good to have you. We are talking about improving your credit and those strategies to get your credit from where you might be to where you need to be, so that the lenders and banks are going to start opening those doors and having those conversations with you, whether you are talking about getting your home loan or your auto loan or something to start a small business. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Break it down. What are those general ideas? I mean, most people know that when you are trying to improve your credit, you generally need to start making those payments on time, and missing those payments usually means that you're going to get a knock somehow on your points. So break that down a little bit more for us.
So kind of just going off what you said, one missed payment, whether it's a $5 payment or a $500 payment, could negatively affect your score by 50 points or more, give or take, kind of depending where your score is at, but typically it's around a 50-point range from one missed payment. So having multiple line up can really do some damage to your score. So the biggest thing, if you're not already doing it, is make your payments on time, make the minimum, start there. The other thing, if you're looking at like a revolving line, so like a credit line or a credit card, one of the big factors is having that ratio below 30% of your utilization. So if you could take out $1,000, having it under 30% of that, so $300 in that range, will help boost your score the most. If you're over that 30, over 50, you're actually going to see on a month-to-month basis, if you're watching it, you're going to see your score start ticking down. So that's a big factor. They actually added the weight to that, I think, in the last year, maybe the year before. So those are the two big things. Is one, make your payments on time. That's huge. And then if you can reduce your credit utilization on those revolving lines, that's going to be the two quickest things you could do to build up your score. A couple other things on how to improve a score is if you have an account that you were thinking about closing, or you have an account that's don't close an account just to close an account if you have too much credit, is what I'm trying to get at. They like to see the length of history. So for me, I have like a credit card that I got when I was just going to college. I'll never close that credit card. I'll put Netflix on it for $5 and just let it ride, because it's going to help increase my credit length of history, which will also help my score later on. Where if I close that account, my history drops significantly, and that's going to see a ding to my score right away. Also, just kind of note, just a little side note on that is, if you have a loan that you paid off completely, that account is closed. So if it's an installment loan, like an auto loan, you paid off completely, that's closed. You might see your score drop in a short period of time because you don't have that history, that credit line anymore. So don't be alarmed if you pay something off and you see a temporary dip, because it will bounce back as long as you're making your payments and everything else is going good.
Good stuff, Forrest. Thank you. So based on what I heard you say, how frequently do credit agencies, track your score, but these fluctuations in your credit score, depending on what you just said, how frequently do they kind of narrow down on you, or are they looking at broad communities of people and then just assessing those values, or is this an annual or 6-monthly adjustment, or just upon changes?
So your credit, so every month when you make a payment to whatever bill you have, in about 45 to 60 days, that will reflect on your credit report.
Gotcha.
So, and it's a continuous thing for your specific report.
Sure, got it. Okay. Now, in the line of credit cards and using them to improve your situation, are there particular cards or programs with certain banks or otherwise that provide more favorable terms for someone trying to improve their credit?
Yes, there absolutely are. If you're in a real rough situation with credit and maybe you think you won't get qualified anywhere else, I'd say go to your local bank where you have your bank account, and you can get what's called a secured credit card. You can put $100, $500 down. So basically you pay in advance. You put your money down, then you have a limit of that $500, and then you have to replenish that $500 availability on that card. That is a great way to boost your credit if you are if you have bad credit and you're looking to start it. Another one, I believe it's called Credit Builder Card. And the nice thing about the Credit Builder Card, I think it's just creditbuildercard.com, is they report multiple times a month to each credit agency. So instead of just making your payment once, you'll actually, I think it's 3 or 4 times a month that they'll report to the credit agency to help boost your score quicker. Not a credit card, but something similar is self.com. And what this is basically you are creating a bill into like a savings account. So you can opt to pick how much dollars you're going to put into it. Let's say you're doing $25 a month. So it's like a $25 a month bill that gets put into a saving account. They invest it. That's how they make their money. But at the end of a 1 year or 2 year contract, you get like 90% of that back, and they report each month that you made that payment. So there are a couple options if you're in a tough situation, you're looking to build your credit, that you can definitely utilize.
Oh my goodness. I've been in this industry for quite a while, thinking that I knew my way around some of these dimensions, and then you still laid on the table three more things that I didn't know about. So it's like, wow, okay, definitely check that stuff out. We will have the links for that in the description below. How does some of this stuff that you refer compare to, prepaid cards that you see in the gas station booths and towers? Does that work off a similar concept, where you get a prepaid Visa card, and is that a way to use those vehicles to improve your credit as well?
So the prepaid Visa card won't report to your credit.
Okay.
It's the same principle in that secured credit card I was talking about, where you prepay, you get the physical card, like the prepaid Visa at the gas station.
Sure.
But this card will actually report to the credit agencies.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
I guess another quick, easy one you can do is if you're already making rental payments, you're already making, utility payments, you can sign up through either, I'm pretty sure Excel lets you do it on their website. Otherwise, like Experian Boost, that's what that is that's taking these utilities, these other things that are monthly bills, and adding them to your credit report to help boost your credit that way. If you do it, you'll probably see like a quick 10, 15 point jump real quick, maybe more. But then you'll see as you consistently making those payments and you're doing everything else right, that score is just going to keep increasing higher and higher with better efficiency. Oh,
fantastic. Yeah, I mean, for some people, a 15-point boost may be all they need to get from where they are to qualifying for the loan. So that's huge.
Absolutely huge, yes.
So I'm going to put you on the spot. What else you got?
What else I got? So I guess one thing I do want to talk about is like a negative credit line and a positive credit line. So what they really two are. A negative credit line is basically something where your payments aren't on time. Maybe you're going towards collections, you're going towards default, and or your credit card's above that 30%, that 50% utilization, because those are all things that are going to hurt your score and start bringing that score down. And really, a positive trade line means that your line of credit is in good standing. Your payments are made on time. There's no outstanding balance to it. So that's what, if you ever hear like a negative credit line or a positive credit line, kind of just some explanation between those two.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. And I think that's what we have for most of the content we have for these 2 weeks. But next week we are going to get into some interesting conversations around, debt and cost of money. I think it's a little bit more of an advanced topic, but you guys are going to have to stop in next week and hear what we have to share with you in that regards. And that's really taking money that you already have and leveraging that into other opportunities, whether it's your first house or your fifth house. But you're going to have to come back next week and hang out with us and the silliness that goes on here. And hope this was useful for you this week. Like, subscribe, click that notification bell. These episodes drop every Friday at 1 p.m. Talk to you then.
See you next week.
See ya.